And I want to welcome you in a very particular manner to the evidence of a continuation of the idea how very fundamentally we are in our idea of doubt, yet how persistent we are in definitions of the possibility of associations with ourself that we find in corresponding evidence of how we want to view each other in ideas pertaining to decisions that we appear to have made somewhere within the correspondence we have found in our body formulation about ideas that we have about ourselves. Look. This is a course in miracle training of your mind to a new evidence of the particulars of value of light form that you have given to each other in correspondence with your belief that your location within a space-time evidence could be determined by procedures of observation of light that have held you in the bondage of continuing evidences of location in time, where it would be inevitable that you would continue to doubt. Let me say welcome to you. This will be a proceeding based on evidence of the opening of a large, bright reassociation that is now casting its glimpse on you in evidence that you have begun to recognize each other in that pertainment of time. May I say that to you? I'm glad that you have decided to join with me in the evidence that we intend to present to each other regarding your idea that it would be possible for us to communicate in what appears to be a body form of evidence that I am obviously representing to you in the lens of association of light with complete evidence that as we attempt to share communication in our desire to recognize each other within these echoes that we spoke of coming from out in the universe, we find ourselves beset with doubt about who we are. Do you want to practice a little bit with me? Say to me, I don't know who I am. No. One of the first messages my Savior Jesus gave to me when he came into the framework of the New Testament, was to say, no one here knows who they are. No one here knows how they got here. No one here within the fabric of their recognition of themselves in association with what appears to be this body form actually has any real idea of who he is, how he got here, or where he's going. Practice? Is everything an idea? They call me the old man. I'm a teacher of illumination in the resignation and recognition of the Saviorship of Jesus Christ. That is, I resigned from my human association as a body form. The main requirement in my recognition of resignation was not connected to death, but was simply connected to the idea that know how persistent I was in my determined to recognize myself. And certainly that procedure was much a part of what I intended to do. I always, as many of you still are, ended up with exactly the same representation of myself that had beset me, are you listening, since the beginning of time. There's a particular lesson that we intend to offer you today from the Course in Miracle Training from the Savior of this world, the author of the Course, the resurrected Jesus, who is now a particular within our own mind, to demonstrate to you your intense necessity to judge. Yet the moment that we begin to participate in judgment of the reflection of the ideas of who we are virtually immediately beset with doubt. Yet we continue to judge in search for evidence that will verify the possibility that we could be contained in a space-time identity that would verify what appears to be our appearance within an aggregation of time that represents particulars of what we wanted to see in evidence of the mind training of our association that could bring us, you listen to me now as we look at each other, a moment of recognition of an instant, okay, before time began and after it was over. There's particular evidence of that was contained in one of the ideas of parallel universes. That is, the idea of the instantaneous availability of communication. Remember quantum teleportation? Okay? All of this is science evidence that appears to give us a direction in what would be our correspondence with ourselves. The particular notation of the idea of instantaneous communication from what we would call the religious motivation would be our need to understand that at any single moment the resurrection of our body formulation would be possible. But it would be an indication of before time began and after it ended. And the practice of that determination within your own mind will increase the frequency of the evidence that there is certainly no secret within the human condition about the need to establish itself in timeful identities of itself without regard to the judgmental idea of its location that then establishes it within the notations of the particular of this lesson, which is going to attempt to demonstrate to you in this body form that the images that appear to be outside of me are actually contained wholly and certainly within my own mind identity. Look with me. Everything that I'm seeing now on the 151st day of the mind training that has progressed to a point where I'm going to admit my necessity of a curriculum, of a study of a relationship with my mind, cannot not pertain to judgment that I appear to have received within fabrics of the possibility in the quantum idea that somehow, are you looking with me at this reflection of light, that this reflection of light is different than the reflection of light that I just felt emanating from this source. Now, you trust this with me as you progress in our associations of time. The actual distance between this proceeding and this proceeding that appears to be over there cannot last any longer than I particularly want it to last. Are you listening? Within my own judgmental idea about first what is here and then what is here.